Look, I didn't intend on making a video like this. I think I feel slightly underwhelmed by FM26. And even though I am enjoying playing it, and I am enjoying making content around it, and I am enjoying streaming it, there's just some screens that I don't enjoy looking at. Look, I know it's a beta, and I know we shouldn't really judge until the full game comes out. And there are some things that I do like, and, you know, there are some screens that I do like looking at, and there's lots of positives, I understand that. And there are lots of features that I am quite excited about. But I just wanted to say my piece today, I guess. Lots of creators are having their say, and I don't want to make this overly negative, and I don't want this to feel like I'm just moaning and ranting, and this isn't like, oh, FM26 is an awful game. And what I'm going to try and do is make my points constructive and suggest things that I'm not keen on and what I would do to improve them, so this isn't like, oh, this is just really bad. I want to try and make this positive and try and make this an environment where I'm trying to suggest things to make a game better that we all love. Well, maybe we don't love this version, but you see what I'm saying. So here are the 10 worst screens on FM26. And I will suggest how I think the visuals could be improved slightly. Obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts as well, so come and tell me in the comments how you're finding FM this year, whether you agree with the screens that I'm talking about, and do you think there's any screens that should have been included on this video. So I'm sure you know by now, I stream on Twitch regularly at twitch.tv/MckinsFM. Come and check me out over there. I always start my streams with a bit of like a recap of how things have gone and what the plan is for the stream. And I usually do that through the competition screen because it's a good way to recap how you're getting on and where the stream's going to go basically for the next couple of hours. Now, this is the competition screen this year. There's quite a lot I'd like to say about this, really. And again, I'll be constructive about it. So, why is the Premier League table not on here? I understand you can click on the tile and it will come up. But I don't want to click on the tile. I want to click on competitions and see the league table. Now, it says I'm first there, which, fine, says my form. So this is all good. But why is the Premier League table just not there? In terms of the FA Cup, you don't know by looking at this that I'm about to play in the 4th round against Leicester. It does say I'm participating in the 4th round, but it doesn't say who I'm playing against, which is slightly puzzling, I would say. The expectations are there, but there's no fixtures. It doesn't really tell us anything. Champions League, again, I'm about to play a playoff game against Frankfurt. It says it there that I'm participating in that round. It doesn't say who I'm playing against. Board expectations reach the quarterfinal, but there's no league table. There's not a lot of information there to tell me anything. There's just a lot of dead space here. Like, it looks a bit weird how you've got 4 tiles and then some spaces. So what happens if you're in 7 competitions? What happens to the tiles? It just looks a bit dull and a bit lifeless. This page should be a celebration of all of the things you've done this season. On FM24, you used to get like little trophies come up when you've won them as like a visual of like, let's celebrate the fact that you've won it. And it actually looked quite a nice, appealing page. But aesthetically, this is not good. It just looks boring. Like, there's so much more you could do with this page. I'm doing this like a top 10 countdown. It's a very sad top 10 countdown, but, you know, we're on number 9 now. This is the dynamics of the team. Where's the pyramid gone? Like, I loved the hierarchy pyramid that was in last year. Now, maybe that was just quite difficult to transfer over to Unity. We don't know the details about why they've not included certain things, but it was just nice to look at. We've got lots of scrolly things. I'd rather they didn't scroll. Like, you could just make the tiles bigger. I haven't got any issues at the club, which I guess is a good thing, but that's a lot of just like dead space there that could be used for maybe other things. I don't hate the tile system, but this screen just isn't like it was. Like, this looks really positive, so I'm trying to look past the fact that my Arsenal save is actually going quite well. It just doesn't look appealing, does it? This is all about the dynamics of the team and how happy the squad is. Well, can we make it look a bit happier then? I used to go into my dynamics all the time on FM24, but I don't think I'm going to be visiting this page unless I really have to. Like, there's a Christmas tree there, which, like, colours? Where are the colours? Like, this could just be improved so much. So on to number 8. This is the squad screen. There's a lot of information on this screen. The club screen I always thought looked like really aesthetically pleasing. You had like diagrams everywhere, you had graphs, like on some skins you could get like the stadium picture on it, which was quite cool, and they looked just like really nice. There's a lot of information here, there's a lot of tiles. I can't complain about the amount of information on this page. It just looks a bit weird to me. I do like that you can toggle between men's and women's. That's really cool. I'm not managing the women's team though, so I'm not sure why it's on my club page, but I do get it. There's a lot of dead space here. Again, I do understand the tiles, but it just looks a bit basic. Again, I want to come to the club screen and I want to look at it and think, oh my god, this looks lovely. Like, this is one of the main screens. This is my club. We've got licensing now, so we've got kits in there, which is cool. Faces, I like the faces. There's just a lot of words and badges that don't really like align properly in the boxes. Everything's in a box. I get the whole like console transferring over to console type thing, but everything's in a box. Like, why is everything in a box? I know that SI are trying to cater for like console players now as well, and I don't hate the fact that it looks more like a console game. I know a lot of people have an issue with that. I don't really have an issue with that personally, but I just wish things were aligned properly, and this is just a lot of gobbledygook really that I don't really know what I'm looking at. It doesn't look very nice. On to the next screen. So this is the end of match stats. I think you know where this is going. Well, what can I learn from this? So we've got our top performer. So Ethan and Winery played pretty well. He got a 9. I mean, you hover over it, it says 9.5, but it's just a 9 ... I don't know why that's happening. Like, what would be the logical reason for that happening? I don't really get it. We've got some stats here. Not exactly comprehensive, though. We had lots of shots. It looks like we dominated. Yeah, I guess that's fine, but why have we not got more? There's so much dead space on this screen. Like, there's space for so many stats on here. Can I not have, like, comprehensive stats down the side or something? Because that doesn't really tell me anything. We've got the match events. Okay. Again, lots of dead space. You click on it, just the same thing pops up. This is not any extra information. It's just the same thing on a pop-up that is already there. So that doesn't make any sense. We've got an assist column. We've got a goals column, an XG column, a rate, a fine, like all good information. You can click on it and you can go through like, okay, how many passes did they make? So this is a bit of data, I guess. However, could you not, like, there's a way of using the space a lot better on this screen. I think that's my main issue with this screen, is there's not enough information on the landing page here, and there's so much space that this could be utilized in such a better way. Like, where's the heat map? Where's all the stuff we used to have? I don't know where it's gone. I'm not able to look at this and comprehensively understand how the game went, apart from we won 3-0, we had a lot of shots. I know who my top performer is. There's just not enough data. Talking of data, my next screen is the data hub. Now, I think the data hub was a really fantastic addition to FM a couple of years ago. I'm fully like for it, and I get it and I understand it. I don't mind this bit. Like, this looks quite colourful, and yeah, that's fine. You go through like the last match. Okay, so I just moaned a bit about the lack of like end of match stats, so I could come here and have a look, I guess. The main reason why I'm including this on this video is I do really like the scatter graphs, but where am I? And yeah, I know I can click on them and it will make it clearer. Like, here are the badges and why is the writing over the top of the just not aligned properly again? So I'm down here, so I'm guessing that's a good thing. But you can't tell who you are from this. Like, why is your club not like highlighted or coloured or made it like why is it not clear who I am? I don't know who I am. My life story there, I guess. Again, it's another feature that could be really cool, but it's just a little bit slapdash. Like, it doesn't help me just by looking at this. It tells me nothing, really. Performing much better than average. Well, what's average? Oh, look, loads more scatter graphs. You go to player analytics. This is cool again, but let's click on it. Okay, there's a lot of faces there. I would say that's slightly confused. Obviously, your players have a name, so I guess that's good. You hover over the players though, but you can't. It doesn't tell you who they are. You can click on them, I guess, but again, just could be better. And why is there writing over the top of player faces? We're into the top 5 now. This is the Premier League table. I don't know if this is the same for all league tables. It just looks a bit puzzling. Again, my main concern here is there's just a lot of space that's not being used, and you have to scroll. Why do you have to scroll? Like, logically, why is it not just a line so that you can see all of the teams in a smaller tile? Get rid of all of this blank space. It just doesn't logically make a lot of sense to me. Surely it would look so much more aesthetically pleasing if it was just a smaller box with no gaps in it and you had all this information. It's weird how, like, your eyes have to go here and then all the way over here. Like, the idea is they should be making life easier for the user, right? This sounds incredibly lazy, but I don't want to be looking here and then here and then here. I just want to look at all at the same time. Does that make any sense? Just went to check. This is League One, so it is all the same. I get it, but I don't really get it. On to 4th place. Now, anyone who knows me well will know that I do not believe, and please give me evidence if you completely disagree with this, but I don't believe that you should be doing your own training because I'm not sure how much impact it actually has. Now, die-hard FM fans will hate that and will probably come and shout at me in the comments. So feel free to come and tell me why I'm wrong, but I want evidence to suggest that training actually impacts. I always leave this to my assistant because I just don't really believe it does a lot. But that being said, I've come onto the training page. I want to do some of my own training. This doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's color coded. It's relatively clear what's going on here. So like Monday on the 22nd of January, it tells you what we're doing. So I guess that's fine. My issue though is when you click on these, it brings you up like this page. What is this? It doesn't feel like this is like connected to this. Like if this is yellow and I'm clicking on it, should it not be yellow? Is that just me? I don't really understand what I'm doing here. Again, can I click on these? You can't click on these. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And again, going back to one of my previous points, there's a lot of like space here. This tile could look a lot cleaner and a lot nicer if it was just like sized a bit smaller, and I'm just not really clear about what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to change that to technical. You can't click on. I don't get it. I don't understand what I'm doing. Is that me just being stupid? Again, like if you're really good at doing your own training and you like doing it, in the comments, come and tell me like, what am I supposed to do here? And why does this page look so lifeless? So we're into the top 3 now. This could be controversial, this one. I do, by the way, love the visualizer. The visualizer is very cool. I think that's a really good addition, and I do like looking at that. So obviously that's not included in this. My issue here is this. So you've got colors, so I can't really moan too much about the colors. What was wrong with having it just like on the pitch, like on FM24? I don't really understand why that's massively changed. I get like it needs to come up into a pop-up now, which is fine. You've got arrows so you can like flick through. The issue here though is you try and do it quickly, the arrows move. So you end up just like clicking on the tile when you don't want to click on the tile, and that happens all of the time, and that's really frustrating. Words are just like cut off the end. It doesn't need to be like that. Like, if that's supposed to say much higher, there is room there to write the word higher. I don't know why it's not like that. And you can hover, I get, and it tells you what to do. But, like, it's just a very confused page, in my opinion. I think for a new Football Manager player, and obviously we're trying to, like, attract younger people to, like, play the game now, I think this is a bit... There's a lot of information here that could confuse somebody who doesn't really know what they're doing. Yeah, there's a lot of arrows that you have to click and like tiles you have to click on. There's like a tile that turns into another tile, and like I know that they're like split up here into the zones, and that's quite cool, but this I'm gonna say I don't like this. If you're playing FM and you're setting up your tactic for the first time and you're using these arrows, I guarantee you will end up like accidentally clicking on the tiles about 10 times, and it's just really frustrating. And because of that, I found myself not really editing the team instructions that much. I don't think I've ever done it in a match before. But even before matches, I'll set it up for the season and I then don't really touch it again. I'll play with my tactic. Like, I've not included this screen because since the hot fixes, they have fixed the issues with the columns. So I'm not going to complain too much about this. But I set this up at the start of the season, then don't touch it again because I just don't like it. We're almost there. On to number 2. This is the fixture screen. Again, I think you might guess where this is going. It's got some information on here that's quite helpful. It tells me the date and the time and the competition. Obviously, one of the main issues with the competition is it doesn't tell you what round it is. That's a baffling decision. I've got a Champions League game coming up here, but it doesn't tell me what round it's in. But when you go back, though, when you go back through previous seasons and you want to check on how you've got on, that doesn't help you. It doesn't tell you enough information. It's just weird. And you've got the team you've played, and all of the teams are in little boxes, which aesthetically for me isn't great. The goal scorers column on the end, it's kind of hanging off the end. And if you've got a lot of goal scorers, you can't scroll over. You can't scroll over. You can hover over it, but you can't scroll over. There's so much space here that you could just like drag the columns closer and have the goal scorers clearer. You can't edit this page. You used to be able to like set your own views for this page. Why can't you edit it this year? I've put this page quite high in my countdown because this frustrates me more than most other things. Why can't you edit it? Like, I just want to move the columns over and have the goal scorers like clearer. Why can't you do it? So I've got an FA Cup game coming up against Leicester. Doesn't tell me what round it's in. I've got a Champions League game against Frankfurt. Doesn't tell me what round it's in. And I won't even know the goal scorers because they'll be hanging off the end of the page. Urgh. We've reached number 1. This is my biggest grievance with the game this year. So this is Football Manager. You get to manage a football team. This is the main occasion. You get to football matches. This is the part that you really want to get to. This is like the main course, okay? You're managing as a manager in a football game. We've been given this screen this year. I could talk about this screen for a long time. I'll summarize though. I don't hate the 2D pitch like I know some other creators do. I just think it takes up a lot of space and it doesn't really help you with a lot. Like, I don't massively... Both teams are playing in red there. I mean, that's another bug that hopefully gets fixed. You've been given both teams' formations. Fine. I don't know why you have to choose between latest scores and the Premier League table. Why can't I have both? I want both up at the same time, but that's not an option. Obviously, shouts are gone this year. I feel a bit like I'm a spectator watching the match and not managing the team because there isn't a lot I can do, really. We haven't been given a lot of data to go on. We've got some things here which I know you can click on, but again, it says advanced stats. They're not advanced stats really. They're just the same, so that's a little bit confused. You've got match momentum. I do like the match momentum, but it just doesn't look as good as last year. I think it looked quite clean last year. Danger of possession, I don't know what that means. It doesn't look as good, which is a shame. It gives you the XG graph story, fine. There's just not enough data to go on. You are the manager of the football team, and I don't really know what's happening. I could make substitutions, I guess, based on average, like ratings of the game, and I could make substitutions based on whether players are tired or not. There's no heat map. All of this information we had access to last year just isn't there anymore. And so the game is called Football Manager, but it's more like Football Spectator. I want to feel like I'm having a real impact on the game, but I'm just really watching it. Like, again, I don't hate the 2D match, like, screen thing, but I just think there's so much more you could do here. Like, why can't I customize this? Why can't I have the whole league table up and the latest scores and fill this space, all of this, like, space here with just data that I choose to have? Now, this is obviously a design decision. Is it because the data just isn't really there and available? Is it because in Unity that was really hard to get onto the screen? I don't know what the reasons are, but this just isn't as good as it was. And this is the main bit. This is the Football Manager. You're managing in a football game, and I don't feel like the manager. So there are my thoughts. Look, in the comments, come and tell me how you're finding FM this year. Don't just say, oh, their game is horrible. Like, be constructive. Come and tell me what you like and what you don't like and why. We can have a proper discourse about it. Like, but just be nice and mature about how you're writing. And just generally, how are you feeling about FM this year? I feel a little bit sad. Like, I feel like the game, obviously it's a new game. It's not a continuation. It's a new game. So the fact that we don't think some of us don't think it's as good maybe isn't necessarily a really bad thing. I can see potential that in a couple of years this could be fantastic, but it does make me a little bit sad that I feel like last year's, well, 2 years ago now, was kind of better than this one. There are lots of things that I am enjoying. Like, I do love the new like graphics, like in game. They look really cool. I've been watching wingers do like step overs and like fancy flicks, and there's lots of things that weren't there last year that I am really enjoying. And I am enjoying making content because obviously as a content creator, it doesn't really matter what you're playing. It's the love of doing it. And I'm loving streaming the game. I just think there are things that are lacking this year that we're missing. Again, I know this is a beta and I know that some of these things could be ironed out, but some of these things are design choices that I don't think will immediately change. I'm the same as everyone. I just want Football Manager to be the best version of the game it can possibly be. And at the moment, it's not. I just hope that these things can be sorted and improved, and eventually we'll end up with a game that's this like fantastic, perfect 10 out of 10 video game that we all love. It just isn't there yet, and that makes me feel a bit frustrated and a bit sad. I do hope that I've come across in this video as quite constructive and just not moaning and ranting about the game, because that isn't really the point in what I'm doing. I just wanted to show you some things that I think this year don't look great and the things that I would improve if it were up to me. Not that it is up to me, by the way. And I'd love to hear what you think as well. So again, in the comments, come and tell me your thoughts. Come and tell me what you would improve if it were up to you. What parts of the game are you enjoying this year? And I'll see you over on Twitch every night at the moment. Arsenal, it's going well. See you over there.